How much did you get charged?
I got charged 2,750.
Yeah.
And my friend got 1,700, 4,500 charged.
And what was that?
What was the charge?
For staying on my own land. Without planning.
Without planning.
Yeah.
And now what do you have to do now?
Well, they're going to take us now to another court to get a junction and rip us off our land. That's the next step, you know.
An injunction.
And how long does that take?
Well, it depends. They said it could take, it depends, I got a court a couple of months, something like that, maybe, we don't know, you know.
They'll probably get a company called Constant & Co. Because they normally come
Oh,
around.
they're going.
That's the Dale Farm.
They normally come around and
People.
smash all our things up and,
Yeah.
What are they called?
and abuse our children.
Gypsy specialists, aren't they?
Yeah.
Gypsy.
Removal
Yeah.
or something.
Specialist.
Terrible. I have to go up.
You had them in 1936, didn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Did you have a solicitor?
Yeah, Bannister, I think that, yeah.
Barrister?
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
He was no good, he's no good.
Really? Why?
Just didn't
Hello.
seem to pick up on the things, you know, they try to say that we could sell stuff off our land to sell, but we haven't got anything on it to sell. It's only hardcore, you've got to pay to get rid of that, you mean? So he said you can afford to pay the fine of 2,000 odd, but, and they've given us a time limit to pay it. We haven't got, you can't pay so much a week.
Really?
Yeah,
How
honestly.
long did they give you?
They give you up to 12 months, but after that you can be taken in jail if you can't pay it, but I don't know where I'm going to raise. Nearly £3,000, you know?
That is a lot of money,
Well, I did
isn't
say-
it?
And what he said is that if they take you back to court again, the judge actually said this, and he said, "You come before me again, I will be severe with you next time."
What?
6,000 or 7,000 next time, yeah, probably, or maybe jail even, yeah.
Where was this court case?
Mould, North
Oh,
Wales.
yes, mould, yes.
Within the mould, yeah.
Yes.
Very travel friendly.
If you're ever down that way, you should call in to see our place in Rossett. We're not far from Mould, yeah.
Where is it?
Rossett. I'm about 7 miles from Mould.
Can you write that down, Tina, please, for me? Yes, we'll come and see you. We've been to Mould for somebody who went to court for doing GM, you know, the GM
yeah,
crops,
I know.
and
Snowball?
Yeah,
GM
yeah,
Snowball?
yeah.
and she got fined as well.
They're very bad in Mould, and
Oh.
really strict.
Severe.
Doesn't he, all these people in this rioting and looting, I was reading in the paper today, someone's just got basically a warning, a telling off for smashing all things up. Yet I only stayed in my own land and £2,750, you mean, it's just because
And probably
of
it didn't harm anybody
no,
anyway.
No, I've never harmed it. Well, our Bannister,
Yes, of course.
our Bannister got up and he handed all these letters of approval.
Support.
People wanting to the, and you know he never even read them. He said, "Oh, I'll maybe read them
Any
later."
more photos like this one?
Of the boys?
You know.
Yeah, that's my son.
Yes, it's
program, Mr. Buck.
Yeah, that's a thing. I might take some Japan.
I think that's the one with two shots.
we want to know about all this planning permission.
You'd never believe that it's true. They'll think that you'll think you've been superimposed. Nobody would jump off a cliff, would they, like that? Is it proper? Not really.
You believe me, that's deep there, you know. Look at his ponytail like a pig's tail. Look here when you cut that off, man, for God's sake. Get the scissors when you cut it off and look on the camera.
Yes, George, I can't
No, thanks very much. I'm going now. Thanks a lot.
Dangerous, isn't it?
Oh, look up to you, you see that?
Owen,
I think that's the one with
tell
one sugar,
Junior
that's
I
one with
will
two
let
hours.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yes, sir.
any
I know,
really.
there's a good photo there, look.
And if he went there, would he give it to him or not?
You tell him you can have 75, didn't you? Yeah.
The boys, they had a really good
That's a bit
time.
out to that one, is mate.
Why
want to
couldn't
put
three
on the
wise
frame,
men?
You want to put that- yeah, I know.
Why couldn't Jesus be born in Ireland? He couldn't find three wise men. Well, I definitely cut that ponytail off. I put me on forgot it.
Oh no, it's lovely. I think
Oh,
it's
that's a
always
good Junior.
great.
That should be put on the Gypsy Times showing that. Put the ponytail.
Dundee I was born in. So it's a mixture here, isn't it?
Have you anything to say for yourself now, Mr. Buckman?
Very
Well, yes.
international.
Yes, what do you think about this planning law?
Oh, I think it's a.
Well, come the revolution, they're going to know about it.
Honestly, you know, it's. I think it's one rule for us in Overton.
Yeah.
What are you going to say about Mr. Copper?
I made my statement earlier, mate.
Yes, he did. He was good. He talked all about the Romani language.
Yeah.
Do you speak Romani?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I speak the Welsh one, you mean, it's a bit different than the... no, honestly, it's slightly different. It's Carakaboo and that, you mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, he's a Victor Radio is Mr. Bogplank. That's the only man that could get you in prison and never get out.
I was locked in. I was in a cell Thursday. What day, Nancy?
What are you making with them?
Wednesday. I was locked up as well. Yeah, I was locked up because what happened?
And you know the other man, he was locked
The
up for
rest
hours.
of them, didn't they?
They came and arrested him, and what happened that we made a genuine mistake because the council told us that they was going to try to bring our court appearance quicker so they could try to get us off quicker, and we didn't sure about the dates, and we thought it was 11th, and when we found out it was on the 5th, we didn't know the date was on the 5th last Friday,
You think
and they come and arrested the woman. I had to hand myself in and drive all the way down and hand myself in, and we was took, and even the policeman said, he said, when you get to Mole Courts now, you'll be treated like a true criminal, he said. As soon as I got in, I was handcuffed and shoved in a cell, you mean, over there.
How crazy is
Yeah,
that?
honestly. But thankfully the judge, when we went up before him, he said he accepted it was a genuine mistake because we appealed to every other court, we've been to conferences and that, you know, and I think he worked it out and he said, well, we know these people has never let us down before, it was a genuine, and the council was confusing things, you mean, so. But it's,
Since these are going to power though, Cameron and that.
You
And
Oh,
press
it's
the
made a big
that
difference.
man in France and that.
It's made a big difference, you know, since Labour's come out, isn't it?
There we are. Just
It was much better for travellers when Labour was.
Yes. The Conservatives, they have no clue. They're all millionaires anyway.
Cameron's trying to make a youth thing now, doesn't he? Similar to the Hitler Youth.
Yeah.
What was that man, John Prescott?
Oh
He
yes,
was the best
lovely.
one.
That's all we need.
John Prescott was the best one for travellers. He was the one for all for travellers. He helped us unbelievably. He did.
Yes, he was on the
Well, because he used to have a gardener who was a
See
traveller.
you later.
really.
Yeah, he used to go around and trim his wife's bushes and that on a Friday and Saturday, didn't he?
She's quite glamorous, isn't she, Mrs. Prescott?
Skolkovad, and Skolkovad.
Yeah, it's quite a bad baby's your mouth.
See, he's just saying he's going for a bath, and I was saying Skolkovad, and that means make sure you wash behind your ears. And
Where are you going? Have your bath.
all the way to Pembroke, he's got Kilgetty
Pembroke.
to get a closest bath.
Oh, you're going to see baby
Yeah.
for your bath. I'll tell her.
I'm going to see baby sister.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've met
Another
baby
shower
sister. Yeah. That's nice. Long way to go for a shower.
Nah, I'm taking the missus over visiting now.
Oh, say hello from
I
us.
will, yeah.
We'll
So
see
we'll
you
come
hopefully
soon.
next week.
Because we
sometime.
promised them to go over there to do something with the children for when they're on holidays, you know.
Yeah.
What we thought was we give them a little camera to photograph each other and
Yeah.
that sort of thing, you know. Can you hold?
He reckons that it maybe takes 6 months to get us to a court where they can move us, but he said the only little light at the end of the tunnel is, he said it can happen in certain times that we can go in front of a judge who can say, like, he can look at our circumstances and say, look, you know, this place is, you got nowhere to put them, and he can say, leave these people alone till we find them, till we find you some.
Provide you some other
And
accommodation.
that only happens maybe one every 100 cases, and he's got the power. See, that judge I was up against on last week, he hasn't got the power to move you. He can just find you or evict you for what you've broken the law by. But this other court, he has the power to say move or stay, you mean? So he said you could get a judge who really, like, you know, looks at your problem and say, well, these people have got nowhere else to go. Let them stay till you find them. He said, and you'll be there for the rest of your lifetime. But he said, it doesn't happen a very odd occasion, but he said you could have another judge, and he's races against travellers, he doesn't prejudice against travellers, and he can say, you've got off in 2 weeks and you've got to go. So, really, your future's in that man's hands. I mean, that's...
But what do they expect you to do?
Well, they're not bothered, that doesn't mean anything.
They don't care about
but
that.
it-
That's not.
nothing.
They do.
But it's in breach of your human rights.
Yeah.
Because they can't move you on without you
Providing other
you with somewhere to
accommodation.
move to.
Well, honestly, that judge, I'll tell you what that judge said. He said, I sympathise with your problems, that your wife suffers with arthritis bad, and it would be very difficult for you to move up and down. He said, and another lad, Jerry's, he's really bad with it as well, and he said, you've got nowhere to go, but at the end of the day, he said, what matters, you broke the law, and that's exactly what he was interested in. So, you know, he didn't...
Is that music from a
Yeah.
town?
Yeah.
No, from the factory.
Factory.
So you can get guitar lessons there, can't you?
Complaints going in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Disturbing, it's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I mean it's outrageous.
It is, isn't it?
Honestly.
I'll get Mr. Bulk Tank onto it tomorrow.
I'll sort them out, can't I think they might take up the job. What we need a gypsy to represent us, not a man who doesn't understand gypsies.
That's right.
Because that man who
Is there such a thing?
I don't know. I think I need to come one.
That would be very interesting to
Because
find out.
what happened when he stood up the other day, that judge, and said that you've got stuff on your land you can sell. A gypsy would have put up on that straight away and said, wait a minute, what is he to sell? There's nothing on this land can be sold. The only thing what could be sold, what I told the man, was that we've got 6 brass taps on each.
Yes.
They worth about £3 in scrap value. That's the only thing we could put a value on.
If there were gold taps, it would be
Yeah,
different.
that's right. Hardcore, we've got 5,000 tonne of hardcore that needs to be disposed of. That will cost about £20,000 to get off site.
How do you scrape that? You must scrape
Let's have a
them.
big
It's
machine.
crazy.
And so they that Bannister, he possibly specialises in gypsies from London.
Yes.
And why didn't he pick up on that and realise that there's no
Yes.
value in hardcore? It's got to be paid to get rid of.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Another gypsy would have understood that. I mean.
Yes.
Well, see you later. But he told me I wasn't allowed. He told me I wasn't allowed to speak in court. He said, "Don't you say one word."
Yes.
Because I could have spoke up on certain things, but he
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we wasn't allowed to speak.